Coming up from the crossroads of America, we'll see talented young backs in Cam Akers and Jonathan Taylor. The Rams and the Colts are full steam ahead, and they're headed your way next.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Just as we were ready for air, it was the Colts emerging from the locker room to great fanfare here in Indy. They're ready to go as the Colts get set to match up with the Los Angeles Rams. Two teams here fresh off Week 1 victories who can keep it going as we're underway on EA Sports. Here's Isaiah Rodgers to return. And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20. The Colts getting ready to take over for the first time. And you get a look at their 6-year quarterback in his first season wearing the horseshoe. It's Carson Wentz.
And Carson Wentz made the move from Philadelphia to Indianapolis back in mid-February. And although his last season as an Eagle, not one that he wants to remember, he's now reunited with his former offensive coordinator and current Colts head coach Frank Reich, and gets to play behind one of the best offensive lines in football. A great place to resurrect his career.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. Wentz. Looking left side, and he's got him in. That's Taylor. And all the way down to the 22-yard line. And I think that's a pretty good illustration of why they try to get the football into his hands out of the backfield. That was something else.
And we talk so much from a defensive perspective about scheming and finding ways to take away the run. That means the offense has to devise different ways to get the ball in the hands of their guy out of the backfield. Find open space, let him run, and big things can happen, and they did right there.
And the numbers here don't lie. According to the Next Gen stats, he topped out at an even 22 miles an hour. Nyheim Hines, his first carry. And he's got 4 down inside the 20 to the 18.
But that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
Coming up on a 2nd and 6. They'll run. This is Jonathan Taylor. And some nice running, going to get him down close to a 1st down at the Rams' 13-yard line. And it appears we've got a member of the Rams shaken up on that last play. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break.
Here we go.
The Rams go nickel here defensively on 3rd. They'll try and run for the first with Taylor. And he will have the 1st down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. They're able to convert with a gain of 4. If you make the stop there, maybe you hold them to 3 on this opening drive. They didn't get the stop.
Yeah, new set of downs now. Now you're worried about, just as you pointed out, not just giving up 3, possibly giving up 6. Let's see what they decide to do here because they've got to change up what they have been doing. It hasn't been working.
They'll run here with Taylor. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
On 2nd down, it's Hines. And from the 9, they get this to the 5-yard line. Driven it down the field nicely here on the opening drive, and now it's put up or shut up.
No doubt about it, because to make that type of a drive and ultimately kick a field goal would feel very disappointing. But I'm just wondering, is the head coach thinking, is this 4-down territory? Might he go for it?
And he will throw this one out of the back of the end zone. It's incomplete. Blankenship's kick is good. So a long drive gets him down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
Quarterback Matthew Stafford bringing out the L.A. offense. And Stafford, of course, all those years in Detroit, and now in his first season with Los Angeles.
And what big news it was back in January when news leaked out that Matthew Stafford was leaving Detroit and heading out west to join the Los Angeles Rams. The Rams are hoping he's the missing piece to the puzzle as they seek a Super Bowl title. Over 45,000 yards passing as a Lion, but not a single playoff victory in his entire tenure. The Rams general manager has said he can envision Stafford staying 5 to 8 years, which would take him into his 40s.
A run there on first down gets 3 up to the 28. The numbers for him from a week ago: 13 carries, 54 yards, and a touchdown.
Well, watching the film, we saw that things clicked pretty well for them in the running game last week. No reason to change in my mind. Continue to try and run the football, give it to him early and often in hopes of breaking down the defense so some bigger gains result as the game goes on.
Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. Third down.
After watching him drop that slant, I can hear my old coach's voice ringing in my ears right now. You can't run with the ball until you catch it. Trying to get those rack yards before he secured it.
Throwing on third down, Stafford. And the open receiver, it's Robert Woods. Stafford on target to Woods, first down L.A. So defensively here, you've got Matt Stafford at quarterback. Now, we know he's been in the league a long time, but still getting accustomed to playing in a Rams uniform. So what's your biggest key to stopping it?
Well, normally you would say with any quarterback, it's pressure. Number of hits on him in the pocket, keep knocking him to the ground. But Matthew Stafford's one of the toughest quarterbacks in the league. He just keeps picking himself up and firing downfield. To me, it's that coverage of receivers, and when they go to make a catch, make sure you have someone there trying to make a play on the football. But when you're going up against a talented receiver like that, you just know that they're going to bring more people to him, right? They're going to double cover him every chance they get.
I think that is what we're going to see all game long. An early taste of that double, maybe even sometimes triple coverage we might see.
Yeah, I think what they're counting on, his talent to sometimes beat that double coverage.
And that nearly an interception here on this opening drive, but he gets a reprieve. It's third down. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Off the fake to Akers. Here's Stafford. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Kenny Moore. And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Colts TD.
It goes without saying, but I'm going to say it anyway. That's a ball he would like to have back, and it lands right in the lap of the defender from there. He doesn't have very far to go before he gets to the end zone, and he got there in a hurry.
Extra point by Blankenship is up and good. And the lead grows to 10-0. So an early 10-0 lead for them now as they kick it away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. So the Rams coming back onto the field, their second drive of the game. They'll look to get something started. They need to, down 10-0 early as they've got it 1st and 10. Stafford here, coming off his pick 6. Got a man open, it's Tyler Higbee. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. Good throw there to start the second possession. Maybe help erase the memory of the interception he threw first possession.
Yeah, I think a lot of the time now there's a communication between the head coach, offensive coordinator, quarterback's coach. All right, we got to get him settled. It's not easy after you've thrown a pick 6. You might want to just run the football, but I think in most cases you want to give him easy throws that he's comfortable with to get him going again. It's not necessarily just throwing one or 2 yards. What throws does he like to make? Give him a couple of those and get him going.
Definitely looked like one he was comfortable. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 38. And he will bring it back. second. Interception return for a Colts TD. So a dangerous pass over the middle into zone coverage, and it bit him hard.
And what's really difficult when you throw it in that direction and versus that zone, that means the linebackers have gotten to their spot, gotten their heads back around, and they can see the quarterback and everything in front of them. And they took big advantage of it, went the other direction, had some blocking, and picked up a touchdown.
Extra point by Blankenship is up and good. And that makes our score 17-0. So an early advantage now, and a good one. 17-0 our scores. They kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The LA offense ready for this next possession. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis. Throwing after the interception. Stafford. And he almost had his second pick of the game. Probably should have. And he's frustrated as it falls incomplete. 2nd and 10. Now it's Stafford. Forced out to his left. And he's upended at the 33, following a good pickup of 8.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir. Able to turn that into a positive gain. They'll try and run for this with Akers. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a Rams first down on a pickup of 10.
I have to admit, I'm excited by that play call and the end result, because this is a team that's down big early in the first quarter, and a lot of teams will just panic, abandon the playbook, and just start firing the ball all over the place. It's way too early for that. Stick to what works for you.
Down double digits, and we talked about their game. Stafford for the 3rd time is intercepted. Picked up by Darius Leonard, the linebacker. And they can't bring him down. Well, look, we're watching a quarterback here that's obviously been around for a long time. That's a throw he wishes he had back.
He certainly does, but as you well know, this is a guy that's used to taking a few chances, used to fitting it into tight windows. These are throws that he's made before. Didn't happen to get it completed in this case.
Second drive coming up here for the Indianapolis Colts. They've been off to the races already. A 17-0 lead. Now a chance for more here as they've got it 1st and 10. Wentz going to give this to Taylor. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 16 carries, 73 yards.
That's a good start to the season. They got the win, and they were able to establish a good running game. Nothing that just blew people away, but a nice solid base to get things started. And they expect that to get tuned up and get better as the season moves on.
A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6. The Rams calling on their nickel set here defensively for 3rd down. Now Wentz. Toward the pylon, caught. Touchdown. Jonathan Taylor, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Colts add on to their lead. This offensive unit, they were solid in the opening week victory, and now they are looking just as sharp here in week 2.
And that's exactly what you want, too, because you want to get better each and every week and really ramp up as the season goes on. I know it's still early in the season and a lot can happen, but this offense, they look like they're going to be fun to watch each and every time out.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Matthew Stafford and the rest of the Rams offense set to take over once more.
And I guess right now as we look at some of his struggles today, the term next play really applies here. He's got to move on.
I love where your head is on that because that's where his head needs to be. Exactly what you said. Yes, there have been mistakes made, but he's got to move on and play the next play as if it didn't happen, keep his confidence up. But how about the guys on the defensive side of the ball? They've got to be feeling great about what's going on right now. They've already gotten to him a few times. They want to keep that up. Maybe they can pick off a few more.
Yeah, they disrupted already for 3 INTs.
Stafford's throw, it's complete into the hands of Higbee. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 17 yards on the catch and run. It's a first down.
Tyler Higbee just keeps getting better and better as a receiver and makes a nice grab there for a first down. In his 6th season now, all with the Rams, 6'6", 255. And we saw Matthew Stafford like working with T.J. Hockenson the last couple of years. He's going to love working with Tyler Higbee.
And credit the tackle to Taco Charlton with a stop. This defense for the Colts, terrific last week in the season-opening victory.
And they needed to be because the game was a game we don't see very often anymore. Low scoring, slugging it out in the trenches. One play can make the difference type of a game, and each play took on more importance, and they got it done.
And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. So he was past the line of scrimmage when he threw it.
And as they say, that's a no-no. Got to be able to understand where you are on the field and not cross the line before throwing the ball downfield.
Maybe worse than the loss of yardage, they also lose the down. So now it's 3rd and long. And that will be incomplete.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
And a fair catch taken here right at about the 40-yard line. We are in for a good one as we're through one on EA Sports. Second quarter now from Indianapolis with the homestanding Colts in possession as they get set to start their drive with a 1st and 10. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup. For an effective play there, getting their wideouts involved in the run game.
And what they're always hoping on that type of a play, that they can get to the end of the line and have a chance to turn it upfield as he did there. That means they controlled the blocking and took care of the defensive end or the outside linebacker to give him that lane.
And I guess I need to clarify, I said getting their wideouts involved in the run game, but of course that was actually a pass as he popped it forward. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
And that one's going to be off target and incomplete.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
Now Wentz on 3rd down. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Hines. And a nice job there defensively. They get him to the ground short of the 1st, right around the 42. He did his best to just get 4 out of that, but not enough. And now 4th down. He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. Get a look at this offense led by Cooper Kupp as they make their way back onto the field.
Looking down at the stats here, realizing he has no catches. They've targeted him twice, but no catches. So how do they get him more involved, Charles?
You make sure he touches it on routes that he likes to run. Maybe even run a reverse or some type of a jet sweep so he gets his hands on the ball and get him active active and involved in the game. You just try and find ways to get him going, and it doesn't have to be something that's big downfield.
Maybe kind of like in basketball, just a shooter seeing the ball go through, you get him a rep, get him more comfortable.
I agree with that totally. Maybe set that solid screen and give him an easy look.
Well, to this point, no catches. He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be second down. Two minutes gone by, second quarter. Stafford going to give this to Akers. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. A gain of just a yard, but it's a first down. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's second down.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
On second and 10, Stafford. Higbee secures it over the middle. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on second down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now gives a much better opportunity to convert on third down.
Third and 2, Stafford. And that's knocked away and incomplete.
Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
And how about the call here? They need 2 yards in their own territory on 4th down, and they're going to go for it. Here we go on 4th. Stafford. Quick slant here to Woods. 20, 10, 5, touchdown, L.A. Robert Woods, 61 yards. And the Rams' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. Well, and CD, we have certainly seen this guy make some magic with the ball in his hands. He was top 10 in the NFL last year in yards after the catch.
Yeah, and this just looked like a simple, ordinary play to start, but boy, did things change. Once he got free, it was off to the races, and once he hit high gear, there's absolutely no one who was going to stop him.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now Jonathan Taylor and the Colts offense retake center stage. The passing game, they've had more success there than the running game. Maybe something they game plan for.
How come they didn't tell us about it?
Because they wanted to keep it a secret.
We did ask, didn't we? But I think what happened in this one is they've realized that they've established the run pretty well, and teams are going to key on that. They thought they could open it up and have success through the air, and that's exactly what's going on.
Yeah, they've had success, at least so far, here in the second quarter. Second down, another run with Taylor. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2.
Back-to-back 4-yard runs. Now, look, if they just do that all the way downfield, ball ends up in the end zone, but that's a little difficult to do.
Yeah, I think now 3rd and 2, that defense ready to stiffen up and stop that run. On 3rd down, here's Taylor. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. 4 yards on the pickup, good enough to extend the drive.
Well, partner, none of these runs individually have added up to a whole lot.
Now, 3 plays, all 3 short runs, but together a first down.
Yeah, it's amazing how the narrative changes when you string them together.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. They'll run the toss here with Taylor. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. If this defense wants to stay in this ballgame, they've got to start ending some drives. That helps.
And they have to look ahead at what they expect the offense to do. And right now with that lead, that's run the football. So you don't just stack the line of scrimmage. You have to get upfield and try and make some plays in their backfield.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect.
I feel like my man Old Mo, momentum might be changing jerseys right now. How about what they just got done? They scored a touchdown their last drive. Now here's a 3 and out. Maybe momentum's getting ready to creep to the other sideline.
36 yards on the punt with no return. And the Rams will go on offense here with a 1st and 10. Get a look at this offense led by Cooper Kupp as they make their way back onto the field. Hasn't had his best day to this point here in the second quarter, and they're losing. You got to think, though, that also means that maybe the defense doing a good job on him. There's two sides to that coin.
I would agree, so you have to give them credit, but that means you've got to find a way to beat that defense and make sure one of your top playmakers touches the football and has an impact on the game. Change formations, change where he lines up, put him in motion. Anything possible to shake him free.
Maybe that greater impact comes here on this drive. On 1st down at Stafford. Oh, a hit. He lost the football. Stafford puts it on the ground. And the Colts pick it up. And he'll get this back down to about the 12-yard line. Holding on to the football becoming a little bit of an issue. He had 2 fumbles last week, remember.
I played for a guy that used to talk all the time about creating turbulence in the pocket, making the quarterback jumpy, make him antsy, keep getting after him a little bit, and make sure he thinks about holding on to the ball because you're going after him.
And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. 7 yards on the play, and it'll be a 2nd down. Now a handoff. Taylor with it. And he gets halfway home from the 4 down to the 2-yard line. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the 1st down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
Off the option, here's Taylor. He didn't get the touchdown, but he did get the 1st down as he's tackled at the 1. 1 yard is the gain, and the Colts are going to have a 1st and goal. They'll look to run with Taylor, and this time he is in. Jonathan Taylor with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Colts continue to pull away here in this 1st half.
Could not block that one any better. Everyone was accounted for, and a great surge by the offensive line.
Extra point by Blankenship is up and good. And a rout is on here in this 1st half. So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off. Jackson now to return. And he'll be stopped up at the 25.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
The Rams offense now making their way out to take over. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise it's going to be a long day for you.
And this is going to fall to the ground, incomplete. That very nearly their 4th pick of the game. Instead, 2nd down. Back to the air. Stafford on 2nd down. He'll get this complete to Cooper Kupp. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Stafford to Kupp there for a Rams 1st down. Now a play fake, and it's Stafford. This is caught. It's Woods. The Rams going to go ahead and use the 1st of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll fake it. Now Stafford. Gets this into the hands of the tight end, Higbee. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 11 more on that one, and another first down. On the handoff, running left is Akers. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. Now the Rams will signal for a timeout, their second, as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. Second down at 5. A shotgun snap for Stafford. And he's got the hook up here. It's Woods. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
And we've seen him have success earlier on with the ball in his hands because he is a get it in space and make a play kind of a receiver. But that time, they closed on him quickly and held him to a short gain.
This offense converted once on 4th down earlier. Now they're out there again to try once more. Rolling to his right. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Kenny Moore. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. Quite a decision there on 4th down. They didn't just want the first. They wanted 6 points. And following the interception, they're going to come away with neither.
And that's too bad, partner, because they really went for it on that one, right? Because I think in their mind, sometimes the illogical play is a logical play. But in this case, they were wrong.
And with time running down, they go down to a knee. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning. An abbreviated halftime show as we get rolling to quarter 3. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Rams set to receive the second half kickoff, and they trail here as we resume play. And we will not see a return to start the half, as this will be a touchback. Getting set to go again, Matthew Stafford trots back onto the field. Any surprise in your mind he's out there to start the second half after 4 first-half interceptions?
I used to be surprised by a lot of things, partner, but in this case I'm not, because you know they want him to be their guy. And the only way to truly establish that is to give him a chance to work through some of the issues he had in the first half.
Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. Meanwhile, Stafford's throw pulled in by Woods. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. He continues to deliver a first down here. He had 4 catches in the first half, and this one number 5. From the gun, here's Stafford. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. The passing windows are just not there, and that's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Here's Stafford. And Woods has it complete. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. The Rams, they are on the move. They've got another first down. Here's Stafford. It won't be a sack, but it's no gain, and it brings up second down.
And while he did a good job of sliding around in the pocket, there was nowhere to go with the football, so he had to take off and try and run. He just got back to the line of scrimmage, no gain.
Here's a run with Akers on second down. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got to just pin their ears back and get after him now.
Going to run the sweep here. This is Cup. And some space here. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. It's a gain of 15, and the Rams have a first down. An excellent run there coming from out wide.
And we used to consider these jet sweeps to be gadget plays or something a little bit unusual, right? But now most teams have some version of this play in their playbook. And I think it's a lot because of the receivers that are being developed nowadays. These guys look like running backs even though they're playing out on the perimeter.
On first down, Stafford here. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
To throw again on second down. Stafford, his throw caught at about the 5. And the Rams are going to be looking at 1st and goal as they move this down to the 4-yard line.
Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football, and right now I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage in a short amount of time. That was a nice play there.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over him.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
And he'll be stopped about a yard shy of the goal line after a pickup of about 3.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Michelle. And boy, a good surge defensively. It'll depend on the mark, but I'm not sure he got there. This is a long drive offensively. Wouldn't you hate to end this with just 3 points?
Doesn't it feel like during a ball game you have certain narratives going on and there's certain drives that seem to take on just a bit more importance than others? This feels like one of those, doesn't it? To me, 3 points here, amazing.
Hammering for the goal line. He loses the football. And I believe the Colts have recovered. Yes, they have.
Well, give some credit to the defense. They forced the big play, knocked the ball free from him, but it's a cardinal sin by the quarterback. Know where you are on the field, and he just gave up at a minimum 3 points.
Instead of getting down, takes the contact. The turnover ensues. Here's the Colts now as they get ready for their first possession on offense of the second half. They had the big halftime lead. Their defense just helped them out further by forcing the turnover, so things are starting to look pretty rosy.
They certainly are, but they've got to be careful about getting complacent, though. They still need to go out and run their offense efficiently.
A carry by Taylor to start the drive. And able to get it across the 10 to the 15. 44 yards rushing for him in the ball game now on 14 carries.
That's the type of run that Jonathan Taylor gives you so often, and you just can't take it for granted. He finds a way to get those extra yards. The third running back taken in the 2020 draft, but he had the best numbers by far of any of them. 1,169 yards, third most in the NFL, and by the last quarter of the season, he ranked among the best runners in the league.
And now they have a little more space to maneuver from the 15, 1st and 10. They'll fake the give to Taylor. Now Wentz. Sliding out of the pocket. Oh, he put it on the carpet, a fumble. And now the Rams have got it, going the other way. And they're already in the zone. The 18-yard line is where they take over. Well, number one on the list of things not to do when you're up 3 scores in the third, that right there, give the football away.
I love when you speak like that. You know how doctors talk about taking the Hippocratic oath, first do no harm? You just did the football-cratic one right there. Don't give the ball away when you have a lead that you can lock this game down with.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. Following the fumble recovery, Stafford. Now the pressure gets there, and he goes down just inside the 20 at the 19. Grover Stewart able to collapse the pocket, get to him, and drop him for a loss of a yard. And for the defense, their 3rd sack of the game.
That number tells you that they're starting to put it together with their defensive game plan. They're starting to feel pretty good about what the offense is doing, bringing the pressure at the right time, and putting the quarterback on the ground.
8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
Always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? Like any of them, especially if it's a good receiver, that makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football. Once you get into the red zone, space is at a premium for receivers to try and operate and shake themselves free. That one's incomplete.
They snap it to Stafford. And able to find Higbee. It's complete. And the Rams are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. Both sides were holding their breath there on that 4th down play, and the offense can breathe a sigh of relief.
And both knew exactly where the 1st down markers were. You know the defense is trying to guard those sticks and try and keep...
And he's going to be swallowed up and taken down. Sacked back at the 5-yard line. Well, the number one mission of any offensive line, you got to protect that quarterback, keep him safe back there. This time, the rush got to him in a hurry. 2nd down and goal. Stafford, and this is incomplete.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss it? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
Now Stafford on 3rd and goal. Eluding the press, and he's going to take this one in for a Rams touchdown. Matthew Stafford with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Rams use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. They were looking to pass the ball there, but they forgot to account for the man with the football.
Yeah, I can hear people right now saying, well, why don't you have a spy in your defense, someone who will dance with him and go where he goes? Well, oftentimes if you utilize a spy, you've taken away someone in coverage as well. And oftentimes, the spy, not as athletic as the guy he's trying to keep up with, so he gets defeated anyway.
And he turns 3rd and goal into a touchdown. On the return, it's Nyheim Hines. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Indy set to go on offense once more. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
Now, they're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. They'll run with Taylor to begin the drive. And he'll have a gain of 3 to the 33.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here. And if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of 1st downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score. Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Flushed out right. And Wentz going to slide to a stop. He does have the 1st down. 3 quarters in the books. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. They'll run on first down. Hines, and he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
And the throw there going to be incomplete. Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return, and the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The football going back to the Rams now. Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news, but this is still a 2-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Darius Leonard, the linebacker. And he's going to return it to the 21-yard line. So after the INT, here's Wentz. That's into the hands of Pascal. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a first down.
Partner, I like that they're staying aggressive on offense because, to me, this drive is what is known as a put-away drive. You score here, that might put this one to bed. I like the fact that they're playing with confidence and not playing with fear.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. Now Wentz. Dancing to his left. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple. On the handoff, this is Taylor. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Jonathan Taylor taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Colts are on their way to a 2-0 start. I'll tell you what, Charles, I know that you don't put a ton of stock into power rankings and things of that nature, but another score here, and 2 weeks into the season, this is maybe the most impressive team in the NFL. Would you agree?
Well, they've certainly sold me as they've sold you, and I agree with you, no question about it. They won easily last week. They're on their way to another lopsided victory here. They're definitely a team to be reckoned with, and they are serving notice to the rest of the league.
Jackson now to return. And able to get this out to the 25. Here comes Matthew Stafford now to lead his offense back out there. And that interception that ended their previous drive likely also ended any shot they had at victory.
Yeah, long road back from here, no doubt about that one. But let's face it, if you're going to go out there and compete, you want to try and end on a strong note, don't you?
Absolutely. It won't end in a victory like you said, but they can maybe take something positive out of this one. Well, we've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. And I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away. Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs.
The bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them.
And now here's another interception. Picked off at the 48. And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Colts TD. Defensively, they've had their way in this one. That pick six makes that scoreboard even more lopsided.
I remember talking with a guy in the league, and I said, what do you do when the game's like this? You know, it's pretty much over. You ready to go to the bench and hang out? He said, oh, heck no. I want to stay on the field. I might get some stats. I might get a pick or two.
You like being out there at the end of these wide margins.
When they have to throw it, that gives you more opportunities to go get it.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. Jackson now to return. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. Now the Rams offense getting the football back. And you can sort of sense their dejection. That last pick six put the icing on the cake, so to speak, in what has been a rough go for them. Stafford here, coming off his pick six. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Another try after the first down sack. Stafford. And he'll slide to a halt here. Still a little shy of the first down marker. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a 3rd down situation.
Now, how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
Throwing on 3rd down, Stafford. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Julian Blackmon. And this one will be brought back to the 22. The utter domination here just continues. This defense, I don't know what more we can say all around about their performance.
Well, it certainly feels in this game like maybe they're facing a Canadian defense. 12 guys on the field. It feels like there's an extra on every snap because they have really struggled to make headway through the air.
A gain of 3, 2nd down. Again, it's Taylor. He'll get forward for 3 down to the 16-yard line.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
And that's caught by the tight end, Granson. Touchdown, Colts! Kylan Granson, his first NFL reception goes for 6. And the Colts are looking to make it 2 straight as they add on to this 4th quarter lead.
On that 3rd down call, the goal was to get the ball to their tight end and pick up a first down, but he wasn't satisfied with just that. They got the first down. That was the gravy. He decided to take in the whole meal and rumbled in for a touchdown.
Extra point by Blankenship is up and good, and the lead will swell by 1 more. So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off. Jackson now to return. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. L.A. readies for its next possession. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Good work after the catch. Gets him 15 and a first down.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
Off the fake to Akers. Here's Stafford. Got a man. It's Higbee complete. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. It's another first down on a big gainer there, 33 yards. Defensively, I know they have the comfortable lead here in the fourth, but they do not want to give up big plays like that.
They want to finish strong. So oftentimes in this situation, you tighten up underneath in your coverage, and you bring your safety.
And now here is another interception. Picked off by Corey Willis. The 40. Past the 20. And he will bring it back. An interception return for the Colts TV. Well, you don't want to coach him, Charles, to stay in the pocket on every play, but I guess that's the danger of getting outside of the pocket, extending a play, and making a bad throw. It turns into 6 points the other way.
Yes, sometimes when you get outside the pocket, your vision actually gets obscured a little bit, or you narrow it down too much, and you don't see all the defenders in the area.
Extra point by Blankenship is up and good, and that will extend this big lead. Jackson now to return. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. And the Rams getting set to go now. And following the pick six, and they have decent field position in throwing that pick six. We'll see how they attack this run.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
They told him, and they told us, they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest.
So it's Rams football here as we get you reset. They're looking at second down now as they search for a consolation score. On 2nd and 9, Stafford. 8th catch for him now. He's been a big factor. And it's a first down.
And that's a first down for the Rams after the catch there by Robert Woods. And he's coming up with back-to-back 90-catch seasons. I've always admired his game. Throw it to him, hand it to him, he blocks downfield, a complete receiver that doesn't get the credit he deserves.
They'll run on first down with Akers. And not much doing. He'll get this only up to about the 36. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Going to run the sweep here. This is Cup. And very little room to maneuver. He'll get this down to about the 39. Only gets 3 yards there on the heels of the 1-yard pickup. Sets up 3rd and 6.
Let's just make this one succinct. Nice job there. All 11 guys on defense diagnosing the jet sweep and putting it down.
And a pretty nice tackle there, ranging up from his free safety spot as he'll stop him about a yard short. They'll get 6 there on the run, but it brings up 4th down. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it. Get the first down. Close it out.
A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't